in our country.
Everyone should pay into America. Even if it's 1%, I would advocate a 1% because when you pay into something, you're more likely to additionally, when you become more and more wealthy, to help preserve it.
Amen. See, this is why we have him here. 571-2428, 571-CHAT. Don't go away.
WFIA, The Spirit.
Shakes and Scallops, roofing, shutters and gutters, soffit and fascia, vinyl sidings, doors, and yes, windows. Along with their attractive merchandise and professional installation, they also have an incredible peace of mind lifetime warranty. Yep, from the date of installation, Window World will be there to service any defects in material or workmanship. Now that's the kind of people I love to deal with. Call WindowWorldToday.com.
The real estate market is hot right now. Are you thinking of buying or selling your home in this market? Do you have any questions about preparing your home to sell? Are you even thinking about real estate investing? Do you have questions about financing a piece of property, or should you refinance your current home? Let me assist you in all of your real estate needs. Hire the hardest working real estate agent you'll ever meet, Elizabeth Monarch with Keller Williams Louisville. When the time comes to making that important decision of buying or selling your home, call me. I want to be your realtor. Search for all homes at ElizabethMonarchGroup.com. Like me on Facebook. That's Elizabeth Monarch with Keller Williams Louisville at 502-551-1286. ElizabethMonarchGroup.com, the hardest working real estate agent you'll ever meet.
Do you have a family member who's getting older and can no longer be safely left alone? With Visiting Angels, America's Choice in Senior Home Care, your parents and older family members can continue living at home and not have to move into a nursing home. Experienced, compassionate caregivers provide assistance in hygiene, meal preparation, and light housework up to 24 hours per day at affordable rates. To restore your family's peace of mind, call Visiting Angels toll-free today at 877-374-LIVE or at visitingangels.com.
You're listening to Just Ask Joyce on WFIA, The Spirit.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Election Selection 2016. We are talking with Garrett Sivaking. And of course, we're about to approach our second hour now. And you, of course, can, and who knows, the election's not over. I don't know. I feel like, and I don't know and Garrett, I've just been waiting to ask you this. Has Donald Trump lost steam?
However, I wouldn't
That's
say...
That's going to happen, though, isn't it?
It is going to happen, and here's the other thing that I would put in there. Hillary Clinton has not had a necessarily good week, 2 weeks at the same time Donald Trump's had bad. Her boost in the polling that we saw was consistent with her convention boost, just as Donald Trump had a convention boost. I think it was shocking, I think, to most people to see Donald Trump's convention boost go away so quickly. However, I think that it was a lot of times people will say that the convention boost is simply cosmetic, that it's not a necessary, it's just the fact that you've had a week of
exposure.
Yeah, and it's been mostly you. Hillary Clinton had the same thing there. Hillary Clinton has not gained any higher than she ever was in the polls before. So this gain that they talk about isn't really... her boost basically made up for poll numbers that she had already lost.
Right.
So I don't see it as a tightening of the race. I think that it proves that, once again, a majority of people who were for them in the primary have already made up their minds. Plus 25% of the party members who voted for somebody else who were always going to vote for whoever the nominee was. Donald Trump has solidified almost 80% of the Republican vote. That is a good thing. We would like it.
Far cry from where he was, yes.
Well, and it would be good to be higher, but it is not unprecedented to be at this level. I think that Democrats cannot say that they are not just as divided, because those poll numbers really haven't brought in a whole lot of Bernie Sanders voters. The biggest jump in the polls have been for Gary Johnson and Jill Stein. Those are the two numbers that, if you want to look at poll numbers that have really truly increased, it's those two third-party candidates. And that should say something to our two major party candidates who are still fighting over those who are undecided. And I think that the media has blown out of proportion.
Oh, not the media.
So the Republicans who have said they're not voting for Donald Trump.
Is that's kind of surface to light, right?
And that's typical. You're going to see that. And to address the members of the United States Senate who have said that, they have every right to say they're not going to vote for Donald Trump. The difference is this, okay? And this is to take a nonpartisan hat off and put it back on. In the Republican Party, you can disagree with the nominee. In the Democratic Party, the reason you don't hear people saying they're not voting for Hillary Clinton is because they couldn't survive it. So those who are going after these members who say they've done it, no, see, this is point that once again the Republican Party believes in the individual and the individual's right to choose his or her own beliefs, and to stand on those beliefs, and to understand that we're not going to agree on every issue, but we're still Republicans. That's a difference. Now, as a analyst, I will tell you the 50 national security members who wrote the letter saying that they could not support Donald Trump. Here's the issue that I have with that. This has become an economic selection because people wanted somebody from the outside. Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump proved that. Hillary Clinton has proven herself to be at least untrustworthy, and according to the poll numbers, when it comes to the issue of foreign policy, her record exists, but it's not a good one. Donald Trump doesn't have a record on national security, and that is an issue, but you have to look at then see who will he choose to advise him, and that's why I think Mr. Trump should release a National Security and Defense Advisory Board.
Yes, that and some other things too. And it's coming. I believe it will be forthcoming. All right, guys, we're going to a second hour. Join us if you can on 94.7 FM. And in the meantime, I'm in battle for his cause.
The Spirit, 94.7 WFIA FM New Albany, Louisville, is a service of Salem Media Group. Online at WFIAFM.com.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. All it took was a single mention of all of those missing emails. Cries of "lock her up" ring out at a Donald Trump rally in South Africa's energy supply. Meanwhile, Clinton,
"We are stronger together,"
sounding her campaign theme during a stop in Des Moines, Iowa this afternoon. The Justice Department is out with the results.
Searches and arrests, using enforcement strategies that produce severe and unjustified disparities in the rates of stops, searches, and arrests of African Americans.
Anita Gupta heads the Justice Department Civil Rights Division. Study followed the police custody death of Freddie Gray last year. The Baltimore PD has agreed to talks with the Justice Department aimed at coming. The Obama administration is voicing fresh concern over blasphemy and apostasy laws that are on the books in some Muslim countries.
The existence of these laws has been used by governments in too many cases to intimidate, repress religious minorities, and governments have too often failed to take appropriate steps to prevent societal violence. David Saperstein, the U.S. Ambassador at Large for International Religious Freedom. Losses today on Wall Street at the close. The Dow was down about 37 points. The NASDAQ ends the day with a 21-point loss, and the S&P closes 6 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
WFIA, The Spirit.
Thank you so much for joining me today and Garrett Civiking. Yes, the political analyst, strategist, therapist, talk show host that we have come to love. Garrett is here. It is Election Selection 2016, guys, and I'm telling you, it is getting closer. November will be here before we know it, and we will know who the next president of the United States will be. So critical. at every angle, because you have to understand that probably 4 Supreme Court justices will be replaced by this upcoming president. What do you want your future in the United States to look like? Because the Supreme Court justices do decide a lot of that. It's brought to you by Robert CPA Group, Window World, and About Face Spa and Salon. Stay tuned.
This is Michael Medved for townhall.com. Research in the archives of sexual behavior brings surprising news. Younger millennials, those below age 26, engage in less sex than their counterparts among Gen Xers and baby boomers. Content in particular is leaving them handicapped when it comes to constructing future marriages or other lasting intimate connections with real people that nearly all Americans say they want and need. I'm Michael Medved.
Who's there?
Falling off.
Falling off who?
Falling off pain patch.
What?
Technology won't have you worrying about a corny knock-knock joke anymore, because pain is no...
Diabetic foot care, structural deformities of the foot or ankle. The name says it all. Comprehensive Foot and Ankle can help. So if you have persistent pain in your feet or ankles, give Comprehensive Foot and Ankle a call at 797-3330.
It's spectacular, compelling, and stunning.
Win the race, win our freedom.
Should have killed me. I will.
Stand and fight, brother!
Ben-Hur, rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters, Real D 3D and IMAX 3D, August 19th.
Just Ask Joyce, where real life and family values connect. Hosted by author, speaker, and minister's wife, Joyce Oglesby. If you'd like to ask Joyce, call 571-2428. That's 571-CHAT. Ask a question, share a story, and preserve the faith.
We have not talked about the emails yet. We have been talking about some polling and, the problems with the polling issues, like you can't always believe because we don't ever know where they're going to extrapolate the people to poll. So, that can change things dramatically. And, of course, we have seen that to be the case time and time again. But Garrett, I do want to, and let me just say, we're opening the phone lines for you. You might have some questions as well. 571-2428, 571-CHAT. And let me just say this before I really do appreciate you and Gary doing the show while I was in Haiti.
No problem.
I was on a mission, and, man, I have been cranked up ever since I've come back. And I've already asked the 3 o'clock listeners, and now I'm going to put it out to you 4 o'clock listeners. Do you have your Haiti jars started yet? Will you please consider doing that, because the campaign's got the heart of compassion for others. Even though we can't see them, there are other people that need our support, that need our help. And Food for the Poor, I'm telling you, is a legitimate, absolutely legitimate organization. That's what I wanted to go see for myself, because I have believed in them. But I just wanted that validation, and I got it. 150%. I got it. They deliver on their promise to you. I saw it with my own eyes, and so I'm so excited to just share that with you. And please start your Haiti jars. Check out my Facebook page, and you can see. You can do any size. We already have 3 jars. A little bit about, these emails? Apparently there's more that are going to be very, damaging.
Well, the question is which emails? Hillary's emails or the Democratic Party's emails? Because there's 2, and then there's campaign emails.
Oh, there's a myriad. Email has really been a big topic
of our listeners. Don't write anything in email, text message, Facebook Messenger.
It'll come back
anything
to bite you.
That you wouldn't say to someone in person, because it's not private.
It's so interesting because our culture, that's what we do. That's how we communicate with everybody. We do it in writing. We don't pick up the phone anymore and call people.
Right.
And it is coming back to bite us in the proverbial fanny Annie.
Yeah.
And, in many ways, it's the breakdown of communication in the families. between husband and wife. I mean, we just don't talk anymore. Friends, all kinds of relationships. But this kind of email debacle that has gone on, and it just seems never ending, because every time we turn around, there's another email issue that seems to be looming over the Clinton campaign, especially. And I just keep waiting for one to break out in Trump. So.
And the Democrat Party itself.
And
the DNC has had its issues as well. It depends on, as far as we know, what the emails that we haven't got to see come from WikiLeaks, which is founded by Julian Assange, who's a claims to be a government whistleblower. These emails, so WikiLeaks has served a purpose, but it has also been very destructive.
It's just a big old gossip column.
Well, the thing about it is that the difference between that and a gossip column is that they screenshots the actual messages.
Yeah, they do.
And so you see some of these conversations.
It's not rumor that,
right. Yeah, he doesn't say anything on WikiLeaks that he doesn't have proof to back it up. And so it's very interesting to watch this unfold. A lot of people have the emails hurt her polling numbers. I think that the emails have hurt her polling numbers in the sense that when you ask question, do you believe she's honest and trustworthy? I think that has really tanked. However, Donald Trump's honest and trustworthy rating isn't much better, and some of them have been worse. I just think that people are so fed up as hers. And that's what the polling number kind of proved. And the other thing, when we were talking about polling, that I think are misleading. They'll say Clinton leads by 10, but then you look and see, no, wait a minute, nobody's broke 40 in this poll. So you have so many undecided there. You have to take that into consideration on those polling numbers. Then they're not trustworthy. And that's a lot of what you see on television, unfortunately. I mean, it is. So you can't believe everything you see on television or what you read on Facebook. You have to be able to do the background work. And I know that that's a lot of added work into it. But that's why we have people like me and for these segments. But on top of that, it's so important to do it because it's too important. The issues are too important.
And of course, again, that's one reason I invite Gary on this show, because you can call with your question. I can guarantee he's already done his homework. He's already investigated what we should be doing. But sometimes we don't know how to go about that, and then we don't really know if, what we land on is going to be reliable anyway. And that is why we have continually given you the email address and, Elect Select.
Election
selection at iCloud.com, and then Elect Select on Facebook, and and on Twitter as well. And
it's there, 970amtheanswer.com.
Yep, there you go. And all right, so these emails that apparently, I've just seen some headlines come across today that they're going to be very damaging for Hillary.
From what we understand.
And so what did you think about this, the gentleman that was killed, and his name was related to the emails of Hillary? Can we really connect anything that might be covert in any way with?
Well, there was the situation was twofold, and this is something that we still don't have the answer for. Is why did
designed for your spiritual growth and enrichment, along with 5-star accommodations, beautiful scenery, historic sites, and a community of people committed to you having a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Join us this fall on a 15-day all-inclusive Mediterranean cruise with Pastor Alistair Begg, and visit thrilling stops in Naples, Jerusalem, Rome, and more. It's the Footsteps of the Apostles Mediterranean Cruise. Come and experience sites like the Sistine Chapel, the historic Western Wall in Jerusalem, and the beauty of the Isle of Santorini, all during one trip with like-minded travelers. Register today to sail the pristine Mediterranean waters and luxurious accommodations, and follow in the footsteps of the apostles to Athens and Ephesus. With special guests and resident teaching Pastor Alistair Begg, this cruise is sure to be inspiring and refreshing. The Footsteps of the Apostles Mediterranean Cruise is happening September 22nd to October 9th. To register, visit footstepsoftheapostles.com. That's footstepsoftheapostles.
YouTube.com. Watch inspirational videos that'll challenge and motivate. Catch the latest music videos from Christian artists like Jeremy Camp, Hillsong, and Chris Tomlin. And share a laugh with clean comedians like Tim Hawkins, Anita Renfro, and more. All free 24/7 right in your own home at the simple touch of a button. Visit the new GodTube.com. That's GodTube.com.
Hey, Valley View Church, meet your new pastor, Brian Stone.
Well, good morning, Valley View. Well, me and my family made it here to Louisville. You guys have been so welcoming to us, and I couldn't feel more certain of our call.
Of course, new guests are always welcomed and encouraged to attend either the 9 a.m. or 10:45 a.m. service. From Kingsland Baptist Church in Katy, Texas, welcome head pastor Brian Stone and his wife, Holly.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
You cannot fight them in the streets. There is a way.
Joel Osteen, senior pastor of Lakewood Church, raves. It's spectacular, compelling, and stunning.
Win the race, win our freedom.
Alive and well. So, who do we believe there, Garrett?
Well, that's the thing, and there's some statements from his lawyer too that are saying that he's alive. So I don't know.
Why don't you refresh the people's memory about who Snowden is?
Well, Snowden is a government. He claims to be a government whistleblower who had leaked national security documents to prove that there was corruption within the government. He fled to Asia and then has basically been in asylum. Trying to prevent extradition to the United States for charges against him, similar to Julian Assange, who is preventing corruption charges as well.
Well, all right. So emails still a problem for Hillary, but not really. She's kind of swept them under the rug.
Well, to say that only Hillary knows, because only Hillary knows what she deleted, what she sent, what is not there, what is there.
You think she's the only one that knows?
Well, no, I mean, in this sense, if the Neiman gave secrets and was given money for those secrets to the United States, apparently did not leave with his family. There's conflicting reports on that too, but what the official story is that he did not, his family, we do know his child and his wife were still in Iran, and he returned and tried to say that he had defeated the Americans and not provided any information. We do know he did provide information to us about their nuclear program. He was convicted of it and then was executed by the Iranian government.
Very sad. Very, very sad.
Yes.
Foreign policy seems to be something that I think all of us are maybe a little concerned about. But I'm not sure. I mean, I know that when we think of that, we really these deals, these money deals with our enemies. I mean, how disconcerting should that feel to us?
Well, I think I kind of addressed it a little bit, but not to this extent. The Hillary has a record that you can look at. Yeah. She does have a record. You can peruse it. You can make your decisions about her decisions. Most people believe that it is a failed record. Even those who support her believe it's not a strong record. Donald Trump does not have a record. The only thing that you can go off of, assuming one of those will be, Secretary of Defense, and he does have some people. He has Rudy Giuliani, former mayor of New York, is an extremely intelligent counterterrorism analyst. Governor Chris Christie has experience in
knows his foreign policy. That's one thing about Newt, like his personal faux pas or not, and I don't. But as far as his political stance, he's spot on. And he doesn't care who he's talking to. He will tell him exactly what he feels.
And on the issue of national security, so is Mike Pence. And another good thing is Mike Pence also is not shy to say where he disagrees with the nominee as his VP nominee. And I think that's very good. Tim Kaine has been very reluctant to disagree with Hillary Clinton. In fact, when they clearly disagree when it comes to voting records, he has kind of skirted the issue instead of saying, well, I agree with her, but we're not always of like mind. That's a very human statement. And no one would hold him to that.
Right.
To say that, because no one is ever going to, whether you're running for president and vice president, or if you're in a marriage or whatever, you're not always going to agree on an issue. And so it's
we just had a show yesterday, I think, about agree to not disagree, or agree to to
that's
disagree.
the point.
So.
I mean, because you're going to have, I've said this before, whoever gets elected has to be the president of the American people,
Yes.
Republicans, Democrats, independents, and whatnot. So you have to have unity from that point. And if you're able to agree to disagree, or able to say we agree on many of these issues and not these, that's where you're going to be like the American people.
Black Lives Matter seems to be at least settling down for a little bit. And, the targets against the police officers, I haven't heard, and I keep praying every day.
Mm-hmm.
Please, Lord, just let everybody just kind of settle down about this. Yeah. And how much has that one issue, and, the race card is, I think it's played almost every election, isn't it? For a long time it has been.
This is the worst that we've had.
It really is.
Yes, this is the worst that we've had. Damaging, and this publicly in such a disturbing way as it has been in this election. And I think that the issues of race are going to have to be addressed. I think, honestly, the two VP nominees are the better of the tickets to address them. I think they've done an extremely good job in trying to take down the rhetoric a little bit. So I'm hoping that the two VP nominees will continue to do that.
We'll have some VP debates.
You have the one.
Just or one.
Yes.
I look forward to that. Pence does a really good job. And I really can't say about Kane. I don't know. I've never seen him in...
Kane will be a good debater, and I think that you will see clear differences between the two VP nominees and the two presidential nominees, and that's a good thing to see who's more qualified, because you have to remember the VP is only a step away from the presidency.
Step away from the presidency. All right, guys, crank up those phone lines, 571-2428, 571-CHAT. Do you have a question today? We can answer it right now on Just Ask Joyce. Don't go away.
WFIA, The Spirit.
5 feisty and independent women decide to deal with the recent loss of a friend by shaking up their lives. So they convert an abandoned church into a day spa. What results is a joyful evening of side-splitting comedy with the Hallelujah Girls. Coming to Derby Dinner Playhouse August 17th. The Hallelujah Girls deliver surefire laughter as the ladies meet with a few hilarious challenges along the way. Get your tickets today for the Hallelujah Girls.
Get ready to celebrate with Lee Greenwood and Diamond Rio. Plus the Crab Family, the Isaacs, the Hoppers, Booth Brothers, Larry Gatlin, and more. The first American Gospel Celebration is coming to Freedom Hall in the Kentucky Exposition Center in Louisville, September 1st through the 3rd.
Feel the walls start tumbling, tumbling. Feel the walls start.
Also featuring Larnell Harris, Canton Junction, Gordon Mote, and Pastor John Hagee. Registration and more information is available now online at AmericanGospelCelebration.com.
The devil's gonna get you.
September 1st through the 3rd at Freedom Hall in the Kentucky Exposition Center. Get a group together and get ready to celebrate. The first American Gospel Celebration. Details online at AmericanGospelCelebration.com. Produced by Fill the Gap Concerts.
Not all financial advice is crystal clear, and even the pros often disagree about what course of action is best in different circumstances. That's why the best financial advice is traced back to the fundamentals, the basics, uncomplicated nuggets of wisdom that seem intuitively true. For example, Mom always used to say, money doesn't grow on trees, and she was right. Of course, Mom wasn't being literal. Like so many other pieces of advice from Mom, this was more symbolic. She was saying that money doesn't come easily. Together, a free resource that lays out some of the most valuable pearls of wisdom from someone we all looked up to. I call it Lessons from Mom, motherly advice on health, wealth, and the pursuit of happiness. And I want to offer this special resource to you absolutely free. To claim this free resource and start putting your money to work for you and gain the financial freedom you're after, simply request it on.
Uses electronics at least 11 hours a day. While the constant use of technology helps people keep in touch, pay bills, navigate the road, and stay up to date on news, that's the Internet. Visit webroot.com/radio now to save 30% on your purchase of Webroot's Internet security software. That's webroot.com/radio.
So, we've been saddled with the impossible task of telling you all the things your new WFIA app can do. Ready? Stream with the touch of a button. Go to
You certainly can give us a call at 571-2428, 571-CHAT. I don't know whether we should open this can of worms or not.
He can defeat Trump, new dangers and new opportunities. And when I read through that, they're talking about how they're like-minded. It never mentions Hillary Clinton in the article. The article that I found that says that they endorsed her was back in February, but I can't find any proof that they've actually endorsed her. Can I ask you this, though?
Why would a Communist Party not want Donald Trump?
Why would they want Donald Trump?
Right.
Well, because it's a capitalist system.
That's right.
It's between being socialist and communist.
But is it? I've read somewhere many, many times that it's kind of the next rung is communism. From socialism is communism. You're a political science major, so how true is that?
Well, I will correct. My major wasn't political science. I had a minor in political science, but in social sciences, which is what
you major in it more than we do.
Yeah, exactly. But in social sciences, yes, you go from socialism to you start. That's where you have the difference. You start with democratic socialism, and then you go to national socialism. You go to socialism, then you go to national socialism, then you go to communism, and then you go to fascism, and then you go on to all total dictatorship.
Right.
So there are differences, but it is in the world of politics and political ideology. A lot of people talk about rungs on a ladder. I like to more look at it as a circular thing, because when you get to the far extremes of the right, whether you go to like white supremacy or others, and then you go to they mingle in ideology. They may say they disagree, but you see similarities in that. And when I say far right, I'm not talking about politically. I'm talking about a style of ideology. It's not like what we label right and left in politics.
Can you give me an example?
Is different. Yeah, I
guess that's taxing you, but...
Well, no, I mean, like, for example, the Ku Klux Klan and National Socialists. They're both extremely eugenics-minded individuals, maybe for different reasons, but they have a similar result.
Yes. Right.
So... and in fact, unify on some issues. They may not want to admit that they unify on it, but they unify on some issues. And of course, many of the battles in our history, whether it's the world wars, have been battles between fascists, communists, and National Socialists, and they have tried to eliminate the other. Or if you would not conform, they've tried to eliminate the other. So, because while Stalin's Russia was on our side in World War II, he was a very despicable and disastrous and murderous man who did, in some cases, much worse than Hitler did. Now, of course, he fought Hitler for his own preservation, but at the same time, they had many similarities, just different means.
So,
Well, I mean, it depends on where you go. Yeah, you have to look at it. And, of course, there would be arguments now to say that we have aspects of...
Don't go away.
WFIA, The Spirit.
This TV is now on WKYI TV. This is MGM's #1 digital movie network. And this has a new home on WKYI TV 24. Thousands of hit movies and great local programming as well. You can watch this on digital over-the-air channel 24.1, Time Warner Cable channel 138, and UVerse channel 24. This TV is now on WKYI TV.
As you well know by now, I like to go on site and check out what I'm going to sell to you on air, what I'm going to promote to you business. And I can tell you, I was impressed. I was extremely impressed. I saw all the sketches and the scribbled down ideas and the snapshots of the pictures and everything, people's dreams that they brought to him. And then he created a design that would be flawless for the builder. That's why I recommend my friend Bob Leonard, 502-741-2748, 741-2748. Check it out for yourself at bbd-plans.com.
The real estate market is hot right now. Are you thinking of buying or selling your home in this market? Do you have any questions about preparing your home to sell? At ElizabethMonarchGroup.com. Like me on Facebook. That's Elizabeth Monarch with Keller Williams Louisville at 502-551-1286. ElizabethMonarchGroup.com. The hardest working real estate agent you'll ever meet.
There is a radio station on the air right now where you can take your family and not be embarrassed. Where you can find hope when things seem the darkest. Where you can understand life's challenges and what to do about them. This is that radio station. We are WFIA.
On the fact that 1 in 4 children will die in Haiti. We can depend on that. And we can bring life to those kids. And all it takes is a meal. I mean, a healthy meal, and Food for the Poor does that. And then they don't stop there, because they build wide open and just really show them the compassionate hearts of Kentucky. Because, other than, our love for Jesus Christ, I just like to know that maybe there's something politically.
I've noticed evangelical leaders endorse all 4 of these candidates in this race, and it's interesting to see that happen with Trump. And Bernie Sanders did as well. The issue of economics, you have some mingling there. You have risk involved in when a brokerage house is merged with a bank, and when a bank itself should not be doing risky things. It should instead be focusing on basic checking, savings, cash management, business accounts, things of that matter. The belief that the Depression was caused more in the fact that people bought stock on margin, therefore maybe only paid 20% for a stock, and then when it crashed, it was only worth 20%, yet you still owed 100% at the value of purchase. Same thing with the housing market. Government, that's an interesting approach because, like I just said about real estate, it kind of separates the issue, and this may be because of his experience in real estate, of course, that he wants it wants it put back in place. But Ron Paul and Rand Paul and other libertarians have been for this in the past. Newt Gingrich ran on it in 2012, so it's not unheard of. It's just become reform her opinion because it is in the Democrat Party platform. But she has not added it, and that may be one of the reasons why her economic plan has not been released, is because she's having to go with a Democrat Party platform that she clearly did not agree with in 2008 and didn't agree with, I would say, in 2012, let alone as she campaigned against Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders did have a huge impact because he did change the party platform. This is going to be key, and none of us can really predict. Is like I said before about polling, this is a whole new group of Americans, the Bernie Sanders people that are involved. And I don't know
and
that
the
she's...
Trump people.
Well, but I'm talking specifically about Democrats and trying to unite there. I don't know that she can...
and I say we, editorially, we've been beaten down. We've been beaten down. And so we're ready for a surge. And, we're going to pick the candidate that we think will do that. It remains to be seen. There's still a little time for you to call if you'd like to. 571-2428, 571-CHAT. You had a lot more calls when I wasn't here. Maybe I shouldn't show up next time, huh? We'll be back. Don't go away.
WFIA, The Spirit.
You want to feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local radio and TV broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information on your radio, TV, computer, tablet, and smartphone. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Tell Washington local stations matter by texting radio to 52886. Furnished by NAB and the station. Message and data rates may apply.
How long were you a slave?
5 years.
What is your name?
Ben.
On August 19th,
My family was betrayed by my own brother.
on the road to revenge,
I won't let him go unpunished.
one man was shown the path
There is a way. Defeat your brother in the arena and free us all.
to redemption.
People would follow you. I would follow you.
You should have killed me.
I will.
Ben-Hur, rated PG-13.
Only warm, all the kids are on summer break, and many people are heading to the movie theaters for the great blockbuster season. Many of these movies are comic book stories about out-of-this-world characters, but have you ever thought about the real-life villains plotting against you? As a CPA and financial advisor, I've had clients describe unspeakable evils ruining what should be the happiest times of their lives. Their retirement is plagued by taxes stealing their money and inflation lowering the buying power of their money. Is someone protecting you right now? That's why I created my latest special report titled Retirement Raiders, the Terrible Four that are after your retirement. I've created it for retirees and people who are planning their retirement to help them see what they're up against and create a plan to defend themselves. What I want to do is this. I want to get this special resource into your hands. To claim this free resource right now, simply call 502-426-0000. Once again, the number is 426-0000, or visit us online at robertsfreereport.com.
You're listening to Just Ask Joyce on WFIA, The Spirit.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
I just wanted, is it Gary with you today?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I've listened, and you seem to be a knowledgeable and an honest broker. So one thing you said, I was listening, you talked about, and you impugned Bill Clinton for signing Glass-Steagall.
No, I said that he...
president.
I said that he...
President. Go ahead.
I said that he repealed it.
He didn't. Well, yes, I agree. That's what I meant. He repealed Glass-Steagall, but it was a veto-proof bill which was pushed by Bill Graham.
Yes.
3 months after that bill passed, he resigned his senatorship and went to work for UBS as CEO. Or
correct,
maybe not CEO, but very high in UBS. So that was the payback. And if you get a chance, I'm sure you have read the would have, but he couldn't do anything about it.
Well, and David, I would also add to that of course the Republicans didn't have a base to that.
Sure.
But yes, it was a.
If you haven't figured out, I think Joyce has. She knows that I'm a bleeding heart liberal Democrat. So
I love you anyway, David. Oh, yes. And we can agree to disagree and still love each other in Christian love, can't we, David?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you every time you're wrong. It takes a lot of my time, but I'm willing to do it.
We appreciate you.
I'll let you guys go back to work.
All right. God bless you. Have a great day. All right. And someone called in and wrote in and says, we don't hear anything about Hillary's health. Didn't she resign from Secretary of State because of health issues?
No.
All right. What did she resign for?
She had said that she would resign in 2010 over those issues. Now, did she have health issues? Yes, absolutely. And we don't know a whole lot about them. She's not been very forthcoming about that. She says it was due to a fall. However, I will say there are some reports in the media who are showing pictures of her needing help up a flight of stairs and saying that proves that she is not capable of being president. I think that's an egregious attack by the media because I've got to be honest with you, there are many capable people who do need assistance going up a flight of stairs. That doesn't mean that they can't be president of the United States. There have been attacks on Donald Trump's health. I think that we do need to see...
Both of them are, elderly.
Both of them are high. Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, I think both of them are...
Right.
And I would say the same thing with...
Sometimes it doesn't.
And I would say the same thing with Bernie Sanders because, if any, he probably had the most energy of the entire campaign.
And he's 80?
He is older. Yes, he's in his 80s. So I think that's a proof of that.
I guess he deserves a $600,000.
Well, hey, I'm for anybody being able to purchase. I think it's hypocritical of his stance.
I do. That's my point. I'm like, I do absolutely. And Garrett, I want it to stay that way.
Yeah, I do too.
I want it to stay that way. I want it to stay a capitalist nation. I want it to stay where we, the people, get to move about freely in this nation and not be worried ever about speaking our voice for the Lord. And that's one of my biggest concerns, staying the capitalist nation and staying a godly nation. And I don't ever want to see those two things go away where we have that freedom to worship God ever.
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to sign off today with 2 words for you. I wonder what they'll be. I bet Garrett knows. Let's see. Do you know Garrett?
I'm pretty sure I know, yes.
Haiti jar. Haiti jar. Remember your Haiti jar, all right? I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, and Congresswoman Virginia Fox will be on tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm in battle for his cause.
The Spirit, 94.7 WFIA FM New Albany, Louisville, is a service of Salem Media Group.